I lost $500 trading the Nasdaq in 15 minutes. And I'm going to explain to you why it happened and how I can prevent it from happening again the way it happened. Most importantly, when you are a trader, you need to abide by a set of rules. You need to have rules that are not meant to be broken. Even though I'm a Taurus, I'm stubborn, and I always believe that rules were meant to be broken, which is why I trade and which is why I cannot have a fucking boss, okay? Because I am the boss and I make the rules. But if I make the rules and I can't abide by my own rules, then it's gonna be an issue. And this is a situation or circumstance that a lot of us traders face, is creating rules that we do not abide by. Before this $500 loss, I had been on a winning streak, W after W after W, because I do have a high win rate with the system that I use, with the plan that I use, and with the strategy that I use. I have a very, very high win rate. And so having this high win rate, you can get a little lackadaisical and you can get a little lazy with taking these trades. And since I've won so much, it kind of gives you overconfidence in taking less than A+ setups. And me personally, I don't like to take any setup that is not A+. I don't like to take A setups, A- setups. Definitely don't want to take a B+ or a B setup. I want to take A+ setups. And this is one of the reasons why I want to take A+ setups, only because of what happened last night. I was trading the Nasdaq last night. Every now and then I will look at the Nasdaq. I mainly trade gold, but last night I looked at the Nasdaq, and the reason why I did is because gold wasn't giving me no type of action last night. I was looking for a retest. The particular strategy that I use is continuation. It's a break, it's a retest, and a continuation. So that's exactly what I was looking for. Last night, gold was not giving me any of that shit. It wasn't having it. So I said, okay, let me move on. Let me see if I can check the Nasdaq. I set my alerts, I set my levels, and I said, okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and see if Nasdaq can give me something. Nasdaq did present an opportunity, but not really. And I wish I could have recorded this session for you guys, but for one, I never know how long the session is gonna be, and I don't wanna record the same screen for maybe an hour. Sometimes I'm in a trade for like an hour, sometimes 2 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes. Normally not more than an hour, but I wasn't gonna have the fucking shit recording for possibly an hour. So I get in this trade, okay? This is why I took the trade. I took it based off of this break of this support level. On the higher time frames, we were bearish, meaning that there was a lot of selling pressure in the market. So if I'm seeing that the higher time frame is saying that price action is going lower, I'm not going to be buying, I'm going to be selling. So that's exactly what I thought. My thought process is, okay, we see a break of this support level right here. I want to see if we can potentially catch some shorts, some sales back down. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm just waking up. I woke up not too long ago. I haven't even had my breakfast yet. I wanted to make this video while it was fresh on my mind. I saw this break right here. My alert went off at this level, at this break. And so I get to the chart and I'm like, okay, cool. So we have this break. I see that we had a little rejection up. We tried to push up. We couldn't go any higher and we broke back down. So I said, okay, this might have potential. You never just want to jump in or enter a trade without getting your confirmations and your confluences aligned. Okay, you should have a system to where if X, Y, Z happens, then yes, I will go ahead and enter the trade. Now, I wish that I was able to show you this real time. I do have like a trading simulator, but it only goes back from 2025. It has no data from 2026 yet, so I can't actually show you in real time how the candles played out. And that's very, very important to see how I take my trades, because I actually take my trades as the momentum is coming down or going up. I know that doesn't make sense if you don't trade, but listen. I saw this and I was like, okay, cool. So what I'm looking for after this broke out, let me move this out the way a little bit. Hold on. Let me move this out the way. All right, so when I saw this break right here, right, I'm like, okay, cool. What I want to see is a retest of this level right here that it broke down from. That's what I'm looking for. Now, let me tell you what happened though, okay? So this candle starts opening up. It starts going blue. Just to let you guys know, blue actually means green, gray means red. I just changed the candlestick colors. So blue obviously means price is going up. Gray means price is going down, okay? So I see price pushing up from right here, right? It's pushing up, and I'm like, okay, let me get my retest. And I'm thinking in my head, like, please give me my retest, because I have been looking to trade and I haven't got any trades. Like I told you, gold was not having my shit. So I get over to Nasdaq. I'm like, man, this is setting up nicely. If I could get a retest, I'm down to go ahead and get into this position for a 1-to-1, which is what you see right here. So it starts pushing up. It gets to like right here, y'all. It gets to like right here, which I can't show you guys because I don't have any real-time data to show you how it was playing out. It gets to right here, y'all, right? And then it starts to push back down. So normally I would wait for it to test this level to where it actually ended up retesting at the end, at the close of this candle. It closed right here, as you guys can see. But I got impatient. So it starts pushing up. It retested to right about here, okay? Then it starts rejecting down, right? And it gets all the way back down here. I'm like, shit, I should probably just enter because maybe it won't retest back here. And sometimes you can get away with this, but this would not be an A+ setup because it hasn't touched the zone that I was looking for it to retest. Yes, it retraced to up here, but it didn't retest. It didn't retest. It still had a ways to go for the full retest, right? So I knew in my mind it could work out, but I know this is not an A+ setup. I should not have taken this trade because it did not fit my rules. It didn't completely break the rule, but it bent the rule. And anytime you break or bend your rules, you end up regretting it. Even if this was a winning trade, I still would have ended up regretting it down the line, because imagine if you get into a trade where you know is not your A+ setup and you get rewarded for it by winning the trade. Later on, it's going to program your mind to think, oh, well, it worked last time. I can skate by and do it again. Just like somebody who goes to steal, and they go to steal and nobody catches them and they get away. And then they go to another store and they steal and nobody catches them and they get away. There's going to be that one time where that robber or that thief is going to get caught. So you don't want to put yourself in situations that you could get caught in, okay? You don't want to benefit from a trade that is not an A+ setup, that is not like, as soon as you see it, you're like, okay, that's the one. And this was not it for me. Like I said, it only retraced and corrected itself to right here. And then it started dropping down. Then I started getting FOMO, which is the fear of missing out. And I said, man, I done missed out on so many gold trades that just did not retest at all. And they just left me that, bruh, this is the best. This is honestly the best setup that I had got all night, but it still was not an A+ setup. It still wasn't a perfect setup to my standards. It still wasn't what I was looking for that made me feel like, oh yeah, bruh, yeah, we should do this. You know, it was just like, okay, this could probably work. And that's not good enough. Stop settling for good enough, right? I settle for good enough, okay? And so it starts pushing back here, and where I normally like to enter is, boom, right here, right? I like to enter at the flip, where this flips down, which you guys can't see it, but this flipped down back into the gray, right? And you want to see it push down. Me personally, I take 1-to-1s, all right? So what I'm thinking is, shit, I can get up in here like swimwear. It retraced to about right here. I think I have my stops like right here, right? I have my stops like right at this line, just in case it wanted to pop back up. And then I had a 1-to-1 like that, right? And so I see it pushing back down, and I'm like, oh, it's flipping, I'm gonna miss out. Even though I know I didn't get the full test at the top of the, you know what I'm saying, at the break, at the actual break. So I'm taking it, knowing damn well, like it could work out, but this is not an A+. So it starts to push back down. I go into profit, right? It's going good at first, but then what happens? It starts to reverse. it starts to push back up. I'm like, oh shit. And in my mind, I'm like, see, this is the reason why. This is why you shouldn't have taken this shit. This is proving why this is not an A+ setup. You knew damn well you were supposed to wait for a full retest, which, as you guys can see, it rejected all the way up. Actually, I did give it a little bit more room. I think I gave it to like right here or something like that, right? Because it didn't stop me out on this candle. I had a little wiggle room, but I honestly knew this next candle is gonna push up enough to stop me out, which actually happened. All right, so as you guys can see, it pushed up, and in my mind, I'm like, fuck, this is not an A+ setup. And you start beating yourself up, and you're like, damn, why did I take this shit, bro? Why did I take it? Even though it could have worked out, it's just not the best of the best setups that I could have done. So I'm right here. I'm almost at my daily loss limit. Okay, $500 I'm willing to lose. That's fine. I don't go over $500 at all. So at this marker, I know I'm out at $500. If this next candle pushes up on me, hey, it is what it is. It's a losing trade, and I deserved it. At this point, I'm like, I deserve it, right? So if this next candle pushed up, and then it started coming down a little bit, right? It came down a little bit. And then I was like, shit, I could just cut my losses right here. But in my mind, I said, no, I took this trade. I knew it wasn't an A+ trade. So I'm going to eat this whole $500 loss. I know that sounds crazy to y'all, but no pain, no gain. And I feel like we learn the best lessons, and the lessons that stick with us the most are the ones that were the most painful. So I forced myself to eat that $500 loss. Even though in my mind and in my gut and intuitively, I knew I was gonna get stopped out for the full 500. I think I could have been down like $200 something because it pushed down a little bit to where I could have got out losing only like $250 or something like that before it stopped me out all the way. But I said, no, fuck that. I'm gonna take it on the chin. I knew this is what I wasn't supposed to do. So I'm gonna eat the $500 loss because I want this to be etched into my mind. I want this loss to be burned into my mind, that when this situation happens again, that I'm not gonna do this again. Because I remember that one time that it wasn't an A+ setup. I didn't allow for a full retest, and this shit happened. So I needed to eat that $500 loss because I needed to feel it. $250 loss, okay, yeah, but $500 is gonna make way more of an impact. And that's the max that I could lose per day that I'm comfortable with losing. So I said, fuck that. We're gonna go all in. If we get stopped out and we lose the $500, that's what we deserve. Why? Because we made a poor decision and we did not take an A+ setup, point blank period. So that's exactly what happened, y'all. Came down here, I could have, I could have closed the trade, $250 down instead of 500. Then it's pushed up, $500 loss right here, and then guess what happened? It pushed all the way back down. But at the end of the day, bruh, I should have never took this trade in the first place. I should have never took this trade in the first place, because normally I'll only take the trade on this second candle right here unless I see some price action that I'm interested in this way. This is the make or break candle for me. And the fact that I didn't get the retest that I was looking for and I jumped in impatiently, I deserve what happened to me here, man. I deserve what happened to me here. So I kind of wanted to give you guys a breakdown of what happened, how that happened, and just let you guys know, man, if you do trade, and if you don't trade, maybe you find this content interesting too. But if you do trade, bending or breaking your rules is kind of, I can compare it to like boxing, right? You wouldn't get close to your opponent and get in your opponent's range, right? Get up close to your opponent and put one of your hands down. That's exactly what you're doing when you bend or break your rules. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage, right? You're saying, market, can you please beat me up? Can you please beat me up? Because I'm going into this trade without any defenses. I'm going into this trade with my hands down. Go ahead and smack me in the face like Teofimo got slapped in his face when he was fighting Shakur with his hands down. Oh my God. Let me know if there's any boxing fans who saw that match. Why the fuck, Teo, did you not protect your face? This nigga showboating around and doing us all of this extra shit. Well, all he had to do was put his hands up. Same thing on these charts, man. All you got to do is put your hands up, meaning you need to check all your boxes and protect yourself before you enter a trade. Stop allowing impatience to make you take setups that are less than desirable, less than your A+. And one thing about it is, when you do have a high win rate, you don't have as many opportunities. So sometimes you get a little antsy. That's exactly how I was feeling. And I should have just closed the charts and said, look, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. We've got to certain levels of resistance and support on gold and Nasdaq, and I haven't seen anything that was my perfect setup. So let me just close the charts for the day, close the charts for the night. But when you sit for so long and it doesn't pan out, you're not seeing the setup that you want, you get impatient and you start like doing dumb shit, like taking trades that are less than your A+ setup. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the analogy that I gave, boxing, right? Could somebody beat somebody else with just one hand up? It's possible, but do you want to take the chance of putting yourself at a disadvantage and fighting somebody with one hand? No, that's exactly what you're doing when you don't trade your A+ perfect setup, bro. That's what you're doing. Yes, you can get away with it, but one day somebody is going to make you pay for not putting your hands up. The market is going to get that money back. Even if this was a win, the market would have took it back from me, because I would have programmed in my mind that this was okay to do, that I could skate by and make it without all of my dots connecting, without all of my shit being in alignment. In the future, the market can maybe take $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000 or $20K from me another day. So my punishment, I'm gonna let you guys know how I punish myself or how I discipline myself when I break my rules or I bend my rules, okay? Number one, I have to do a back testing session. Back testing is basically you're testing your strategy based off of historical data. So I'll maybe go back to January of 2025 or March of 2025, and I'll take trades on different days if I see the opportunities, right? So I have to do 3 trades following all my rules, all right? So I did that last night. I want to get that shit over with, because it takes a while sometimes, because the setups, my A+ setups, they take a while for me to see. They take a while for them to come up. Those opportunities don't come all the time. So sometimes I got to go through weeks of data trying to find a trade that is acceptable. So I did that. That took me maybe 20, 30 minutes. Then my second punishment is I can't have any sweets, which I love sweets, man. Like, especially at the end of the day, some sweets, like cookies or ice cream or something like that. I love my sweets. I can't have any sweets today, all right? I actually had a video that I was gonna do that involved sweets, but I can't even do it because, you know, I gotta discipline myself. And the third one is the next trade that I take, I have to cut my position in half, which that really irritates me, because when you lose money, you want to make it back ASAP. So me losing $500, I want to make that 500 back as quickly as possible. And that rule stings, because now if I find a perfect A+ setup today, I can only risk 250, right? I can only risk 250, and after one win, I'm off the charts. So I can't break that rule either, or I'll be in the same predicament. So these rules, like I said, they're gonna keep you safe. I don't want to just risk 250 today. I want to risk the full 500 today, but I can't do that because I broke my rule and I have to suffer the consequences. So these are the things that you need to implement if you want to be a successful trader. If you just want to be a fly-by-night type of trader and just gamble, or you just want to invest, that's fine. Investing is totally different than trading. Investing, you really don't need to potentially know exactly where you want to enter. You just buy that shit and hold it. But when it comes to trading, man, you need a plan. You need to know where you're going to enter, why you're going to enter. You need to know where you're going to exit, why you're going to exit there. You need to know how much you want to lose, right? Your risk management, you need a whole fucking system and a whole plan. You need rules on how to manage the trade. You need rules on if you take a win, if you take a loss. You need a whole structured plan in order to be successful in this game, man. This shit is cutthroat. It has some great rewards and great benefits, but it also has some steep valleys that you can go to, and some very terrible things that can happen if you do not know how to manage yourself, manage your emotions, manage your money. You know, all of these things are a part of being a successful trader. So I just wanted to share with you guys what happened on this trade. If you made it all the way through this video, I appreciate you so much, especially the people who don't even trade and don't even care about trading, but you came anyway. I fuck with you the long way. I appreciate you guys, man. I'll probably do some more. I don't know when I'm gonna post another video. I'm not gonna make any promises, but yeah, I just wanted to share this with you guys. And yeah, on to the next trade. These type of losses are gonna make me a better trader, because not only am I giving myself disciplinary action and consequences, I'm also going to remember what happened here and use this in my future trading experiences, right? And I have another hack that I'm testing out too, but I'm not gonna talk too much about that. I think that that hack is really gonna help me out a lot as well. But anyway, man, I will see y'all in the next one. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell they ain't your mama, tell they Uncle Joe. We still I will see you guys in the next motherfucking video, and I love y'all, man. Peace. We out, baby.